It was a chilly start to our morning, Jeff. Let's check out some of the lows across Arizona. 4 degrees in Flagstaff, 14 in Prescott, and just when you thought that was cold, check out the Grand Canyon as they sat at 1 below. Whew, that is cold. So those winds right now, southwest about 10 to 20 miles per hour. They'll be dying off around 11 tonight, 5 to 15 miles per hour, but probably on the way to work. This is at 8:15 a.m. Same winds, 5 to 15 miles per hour out of the southwest, really picking up tomorrow as you're heading through lunchtime. This is at noon tomorrow, really picking up around Cochise County. Taking a live look with satellite loop and radar showing that cloud cover moving on in. Now this is all ahead of a storm system which will be moving in our direction, helping to cool things down. Any rain associated with the system though will be remaining north of our state. We have a flood watch in effect until tomorrow morning where we could see about a ½ inch to an inch of rainfall. Some numbers that may be climbing to about 2 inches. By 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, only at 59 degrees, making it to 76 degrees by 4 p.m. tomorrow, about 10 to 20 mile per hour winds. And then tomorrow afternoon, warming up to the mid 70s, 75 in Oro Valley and only making it 66 in Oracle. Current temperatures sitting in the upper 70s right now. Just that light wind at 5 miles per hour will be picking up once again tomorrow afternoon. 76 tomorrow is where we're going to be. Only breezy conditions tomorrow, so not strong winds tomorrow. We'll be warming up for Mother's Day weekend into the 90s with ample sunshine and then overnight lows into the 50s and 60s across southern Arizona. But we are going to get those wind speeds to about 15 to 25 miles per hour late tomorrow afternoon, and then it looks like it begins to die off late tomorrow night. But I do advise you to bring in those trash cans so you don't wake up to a bunch of trash, because look what happens early tomorrow morning. Those wind speeds begin to pick up. What we're paying attention to is this jet stream right here, and it's going to move overhead, and as it does, we're going to be seeing our wind speeds crank up as some of that fast moving air makes its way down into the surface. Low pressure system moving on behind it will help cool things down and bring our temperatures into the mid 80s tomorrow. Also taking a look at another storm system swirling over the Aleutian Islands. Now this will be moving in our direction into the weekend, which will bring another round of winds and bring our temperatures into the 70s, as you'll see on our 7-day forecast.
Gusty and dusty, few showers to the east.
Tomorrow we're in the 90s, and it's not until Wednesday that we're back to the 80s. Those windy conditions take hold, and check this out. Mountain showers on the forecast, so it's nice to see a little bit of rain on there, but that's not going to happen until the weekend as this high pressure makes its way on through, warming things up for Saturday. Now Saturday is also U of A commencement. It starts at 7:30 and will be in the lower 90s when it begins. When it ends, probably in the lower 80s. Bit breezy though, winds will be 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seeing those pollen counts being that extreme level, so if you are an allergy sufferer, make sure to stock up on all those allergy meds because you might be sniffling, sneezing, or rubbing your eyes. Tomorrow, 7 a.m. in the 70s as you're taking the kids to school. 10 a.m. we're already into the 80s, and then by noon we see those winds pick up and we're also in the 90s. So red flag warning in effect because of those warm temperatures and those windy conditions moving on through. Now we are stuck in between these two pressure differences, and the pressure difference between these two increasing what we call the pressure gradient. And we all know that when that pressure gradient increases, so does our winds. While it was one nasty day in terms of dust, and let me just show you a time lapse. This was over the University of Arizona. You can see the Catalina Mountains over here, and just take a look at all of the dust, and it basically just gobbles up the Catalina Mountains. Can't even see the Catalina Mountains at that point. But now finally starting to clear out. Tomorrow is the first day of spring, and it all begins tomorrow at 9:57, seeing temperatures well above average for this time of year. Well, a bit different day on tap. We saw some cloud cover, which we haven't been seeing over the past couple of days. Satellite loop and radar showing that cloud cover move on through this over the past 18 hours. Now, although we did have that cloud cover, very little moisture in the air. In fact, our dew point is only at -8 degrees. So that means that there's very dry air set in place. Last check at the Tucson International Airport in the lower 90s right now, so still a little bit warm out there. Temperatures across the state today were in the hundreds in Tucson and also in Casa Grande. Yuma made it all the way to 104 degrees out there. The rest of southern Arizona hit the 90s for our highs across the state today. Now, low humidity mixed with those high temperatures and these wind gusts, which I will be talking about in the next couple of minutes, brings about a red flag warning in effect 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. tomorrow. So outdoor burning during this time is not recommended. What we had there was cold air and warm moist air mixing together to fuel about 93 tornadoes yesterday. And you can see that all these little dots right here popping up, that indicates all of the tornadoes that were created all the way from the Ohio River Valley to the upper Great Lakes. Not seeing any storm systems like that here in Tucson. We do see some clouds, but that'll taper off by this afternoon. Cooling things down to 51 degrees tonight, mostly clear skies, but those conditions are going to be changing over the next several hours, and that's all thanks to all this cloud cover sitting over the Baja coast, bringing in all those clouds. For tomorrow, it's going to be mostly cloudy skies. Now, these aren't just any clouds, guys. These are tropical clouds. So with this tropical clouds, you're thinking moisture involved and possibly rain, but no rain associated with these clouds because of our dry conditions set in place from this zonal flow, just a flow from west to east, keeping things pretty much steady over the next several days. Tomorrow morning, waking up to temperatures in the lower 60s, and then by 4 p.m. we'll be in the 80s with those winds really picking up on the kids' way home to school, 10 to 20 miles per hour. And the last time that we saw this was September 20th. So it's been 233 days since we've seen that 100-degree mark. Felt those temperatures into the 80s today, and that's well above average for this time of year, pointing your direction to the wind speed, 5 miles per hour northwest wind. And this is going to be the main weather story over the next couple of days, which I will get to in just a second. But those above average temperatures, all supplied by a ridge of high pressure swirling over the Baja coast. This has been also pumping in all that moisture. Now, all of this cold air was thanks to a cold front, and you can see where it is now with all these colors popping up on your screen. Rain all the way from the southern plains to the northeast, and for your friends and family down from the Arklatex to the Ohio Valley, they are shoveling snow right now. Not shoveling any snow, just seeing some colder temperatures thanks to that low that is now being pushed off to the east. And just when you thought we were over with all that cooler temperatures, we have another low coming on in, and this one's being formed in the Pacific Northwest. This will come down by Sunday. We will see rain, so you're going to have to take out those umbrellas once again.